a little forward. And then breathe in, sink your spine towards the floor and look up. So you go right into cow pose and open your chest. And then exhale, round your back, press the floor away, cat pose. Breathe in again, go back into cow pose and think about opening across your throat. Exhale, tuck the pelvis under cat pose. Breathe in again, go back into cow pose, open your chest, look up. This time, pass through cat pose and go into child's pose. Cat pose, child's pose. And then do that 2 more times on your own. Breathe in, come back on your hands and knees, go back into cow pose, look up. Exhale, cat pose, child's pose. Do that 1 more time on your own. And then we'll meet in Balasana, child's pose, and pause. Stay here and just take a breath in and breathe out. And just notice, what's happening in your back body now, like what the difference is from before. Stretch your arms out in front of you. Press your hands down, lift your elbows. Good. And then come right back up onto your hands and knees, curl your toes under and go into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. See if you can just be still for a moment. Just, kind of feeling what you're working with for today. Hi, Tiara. And see if you can move your hips back in space. Maybe you can move your thighs back. Good. Take a breath in. Breathe out. And then from here, slowly walk or step your feet to the front of your mat. You can do many steps. This many steps is normally what I do. When you get to the top of your mat, parallel your feet to each other. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana, reach your chest forward. Exhale, fold over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana again, breathe in. Exhale, fold over, breathe out. Bend your knees and slowly roll up to stand. Just keep your arms down. And when you stand all the way up, take a breath in. Then exhale, interlace your fingers in front of you, press your palms inside out down to the floor. Then inhale your arms forward and up to the ceiling. So your palms are facing up. Breathe in, just look straight ahead. Exhale, side bend to the right, wherever your right is. Press your big toes down. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale back to the center, separate your hands. Exhale, fold in half over your legs, Uttanasana. From here, step your right leg back, come right onto your fingertips and look forwards. Breathe in again, exhale, step right into downward facing dog. Take your whole inhale to plank pose. Look a little forwards, good. Breathe in, and from here, exhale, knees, chest, and chin down to the floor. Inhale, good. Inhale to baby cobra and pause for a moment. Press the tops of your feet down. Good. Everybody draw your shoulder blades a little towards each other. Breathe in. Good. From here, curl your toes under, pick your thighs up, go right into downward facing dog. You can also use your knees because that's totally allowed. Good. Put your ears in line with your arms and lift your right leg straight up and back to hip height. Breathe in. Exhale, step your right foot forwards, come right into your fingertips and look forwards. Breathe in. Exhale, step your left foot forwards, fold in half into Uttanasana. Bend your knees, slowly roll up to stand. Keep your arms down again. Interlace your fingers when you stand up. Breathe in and exhale, press your palms down. Inhale your arms forwards and up. Exhale, side bend to the left, wherever your left is. Inhale back to the center, press your inner feet down. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale back to the center, separate your hands. Exhale, fold in half, Uttanasana. Inhale, step your left leg back and look forward. Breathe in again, good. Exhale, step right into downward facing dog. Okay, your whole inhale to plank pose, pause for a moment. And reach your heels backwards, breathe in again. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin down again, or you can lower all the way down, is also fine. Inhale, baby cobra, pause for a moment. Good, everybody lift the heads of your shoulders and spread your toes. Breathe in, curl your toes under, pick your thighs up, go right into downward facing dog. Lift your left leg straight up and back, breathe in. Exhale, step forwards and look forwards. Breathe in again. Keep lifting your back thigh up in space, everybody. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Fold over your legs, Uttanasana. This time, reach your arms out as you inhale, stand all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Nice, Jen. Exhale, fold back in half, Uttanasana. Inhale, step your right leg back again and look forwards. Exhale, step into downward facing dog. Inhale to plank pose, and then this time your choice. You can do Chaturanga Dandasana or all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, your choice, your choice. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Stay here. Take a fresh breath in and breath out. And see if you can move the fronts of your legs towards the backs of your legs. Yep, Zach. Zach just finished hiking the whole Appalachian Trail, so. Breathe in again. Exhale, bend your knees, look at your hands. Jump, walk, run, step to the front of your mat, however you want to get there. Nice, Connie. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Press your big toes down. Exhale, fold in half, Uttanasana. Press your feet down, stand all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing hand pose. Good. Exhale, fold in half again, Uttanasana. Take your time. Inhale, step your left leg back and look forwards. Breathe in and exhale, step into downward facing dog. Inhale to plank pose, and again, your choice of lowering down. You can shift forward, bend your elbows, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana or Cobra. Draw your ankles in. Exhale, nice, downward facing dog, good. Stay here and pause. Think about what's, rooting down and what's lifting up right now. And just, refining what you're doing. Breathing in and breathing out. Take one more in and out breath. And at the bottom of your exhale, bend your knees, look at your hands, jump, walk, step, however you want to get there to the front of your mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, rock forward, carry a little bit. Exhale, fold over, there you go, fold over Uttanasana. From here, let's put a block in between your inner upper thighs if you have one. Separate your feet, hips width apart. You're going to go into Utkatasana and pause. So just make sure your heels are behind your second and third toes. From here, okay, you're going to grab onto opposite elbows so that your arms are kind of at your hairline. Yeah, in front of you. Lift your side body up in space. Breathe in. And then just twist to the right. It doesn't matter really which side, but twist to the right. And think about your outer hips drawing in as you do that. Inhale back to the center. Keep pressing your feet down. Exhale, twist to the other side. See if you can roll your left side ribs backwards, but lift your chest. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, pause. Inhale, unwind your arms, stand all the way up, hug your thighs in. Exhale, fold over your legs, Uttanasana. You can bend your knees and remove your block. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Jump or step into downward facing dog. So you can jump, land with bent knees. Inhale to plank pose. And from here, let's lower all the way down to the floor, all the way down. Bring your arms down by your sides so they're straight. Press the tops of your feet down. Breathe out, draw your tailbone in, and inhale, lift your head and chest up. Lift your arms up. Let's have palms facing in for right now. Press your toenails down, nice. And then lift your right leg up like 1 inch max. Really reach it back. That's right, Barb, good. And then lift your left leg up, same thing. Reach it back. If you can't breathe, you're up too high. Breathe in Shalabhasana, locust pose. Exhale, lower down to the floor. Good. Just you can turn your head for a second. Just take a breath in. Take a breath out. Take one more in and out breath. Okay. Bend your elbows, place your hands on the floor. And yeah, adjust your hands so that your elbow and wrist are in the same line. You might have to look. Okay. Reach your legs backwards, breathe out, and then your choice, either inhale to small cobra, Bhujangasana, or upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, your choice. Stay here. So if you're in an upward facing dog, everybody draw, this is really small. Draw your shoulder blades slightly, yeah, that's right, towards each other. That's right, Jamie. Breathe in. Okay, lift your thighs up and back, downward facing dog. Good. Okay, stay here. Tiara, draw your front ribs towards your back like a tiny bit. Okay, watch out for your surroundings. Lift your right leg straight up and back on an inhale. Exhale, bring your knee to your chest, shift forwards, step forwards. You're gonna come, make your legs hips width apart, and then come all the way up into a crescent lunge, head up, chest up, arms up. And bend your back knee just an inch or two. And from here, inhale, straighten both legs, bring your arms down by your sides. And then, down. And then exhale, bend both knees, reach your arms back up. We'll do that. Let's do it 3 more times. Inhale, straighten, arms go down, lift your sternum. Then exhale, bend, arms go back up. Inhale, 2, press your right big toe down, draw your tailbone in, exhale, bend, arms go up. And then 1 more, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend, pause. Good. Lift your side waist up in space. And then on your exhale, make your way to warrior 2. So heel toe your right foot over, open up your back leg. How's it going? It's going. Good. So inhale, straighten your right leg for a moment. Exhale, bend your knee. Okay, this time inhale, straighten your right leg, reach your arms to the ceiling. And then exhale, go back into Virabhadrasana 2. 1 more like that. Breathe in, straighten, arms go up. And then exhale, warrior 2, arms go out. Everybody, this is a subtle. Spin your left side ribs to the left a tiny bit. Yeah, good. Inhale to reverse warrior 2, so side bend. And straighten your right leg. Breathe in. Good. Lift your right hip bone up in space. And exhale right into triangle pose. So draw your right hip back, right hand goes down, left arm goes up. You can put your hand on a block. I always go with the outside of the foot, but I think it's good to explore either way. And if that does anything, Tiara, keep breathing. Wrap your right hip under you, everybody, and press your right big toe down. Yeah, and just not going to say anything else. Just be in the pose, like, notice what's happening. Or you can notice what your mind is doing. That's good too. Zach, try to draw your right shoulder blade down, like in. Yeah. Okay, take a breath in. Breathe out, really press your feet down, and just come up into Virabhadrasana 2. So lift your torso, bend your right knee. See if you can feel your arms reach away from each other, but your shoulder blades kind of tuck into your back a little. Good. Inhale, circle your hands down to the floor. Feel the moment they touch. Step into plank pose. Let's keep your feet apart, okay, to start. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot, inner edge of your left foot. So you're in this, different version of Vashisthasana, left arm up. You can always put your right knee down. From here, really brighten up both feet. Reach your left arm over your ear. Press the floor away with your right hand. And then maybe you bring your left leg on top of the right one. Maybe you stay where you were. Good. Breathe in. Nice. Don't slam your hand down, plank pose. Plank pose, don't slam your hand down. Breathe in. With or without your knees, lower all the way down to the floor. Take your time. So from here, let's interlace your fingers behind your back. Personally, I always use a strap, so you can also do that. If you interlace your fingers, if you use a strap or some, like I was holding my shirt earlier in between my hands, I would make it, shoulder-ish width apart. And then everybody lift your shoulders slightly, draw your upper arms in, and then maybe your arms draw towards each other to straighten. Maybe they straighten, okay? On your inhale, you can lift your head and chest up. Think more about your arms are gonna lift a little bit, but I like to think more about your torso going forward in space. Yeah. Press the tops of your feet down. Carrie, draw your chin in like a tiny, tiny bit. Yeah. And then if you'd like to lift your legs up, you can lift your legs up. Good. Breathe in. Nice. Exhale, lower down to the floor. Let go of your hands. Move your strap. You can give your hips a little wiggle for a moment. Just take a breath in, breath out. Take one more breath in. Breathe out, bend your elbows, place your hands on the floor. Yeah, make sure you move your strap to the side if you had it, okay? And then, yeah, have elbow and wrist in the same line. Breathe out. And either inhale to Bhujangasana Cobra or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, your choice. And exhale to Adho Mukha Svanasana, Downward Facing Dog. Take a breath in. Breathe out, and everybody see if you can press the fronts of your thighs back, maybe a little. Good. Lift your left leg straight up and back on an inhale. Exhale, bring your knee to your chest, shift forward, step forwards. Make your legs hips width apart, come all the way up, crescent lunge, high lunge. Bend your back knee a hair, just so that you're getting your, shoulders over the hips and lifting your hip bones up in space. Inhale, straighten both legs, bring your arms down by your sides. Then exhale, bend both knees, arms go up. Good. Inhale, straighten, slowly think about hugging the outer thighs in, arms go down. Exhale, bend, arms go up. 2 more, I think. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Okay, last one, breathe in. Just look straight ahead like you're interested in looking at something. Exhale, bend your knees, arms go up. Good, good. Okay, we're over this part. Breathe in, exhale to Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So take your time, heel toe your front foot over. Just make sure your front foot's pointing straight ahead. Yeah. Okay, straighten your front leg for a moment. Exhale, bend your knee. And then inhale, straighten again, reach your arms up. At the same time, Jamie, lift your left hip bone up a little. Exhale, there you go. Bend your knee, Virabhadrasana 2. Two more like that. Breathe in, straighten, arms go up. Exhale, bend, arms go out. One more, breathe in. Think about your whole waist lifting up. And exhale, Virabhadrasana 2, pause. Good, spin your ribs a little to the right, everybody. Inhale to reverse Warrior 2. So side bend, think about shortening your right side waist. Straighten your left knee. And exhale to triangle pose. So your left hip crease is going to draw back as your torso goes forward. Yes. You can use a block under your hand. And I like to think about, this is like an invisible spot. The bottommost side rib, so the left like bottom one, that's going towards your front, the front of your mat. Yeah. And then really trying to, stand on your feet, stand on your legs by drawing the thighs up in space and just noticing, what's happening right now. Take another breath in. Breathe out, really press both feet down. Take one more. And inhale right up into Virabhadrasana 2. So lift your torso, arms go out. Good. Breathe in. Everybody soften your front ribs towards your back a tiny, tiny bit. Circle your hands down to the ground. Pause in a lunge, look forwards. Step into plank pose. And of course, you can always do this with knees down or one knee down. Keep your feet apart, roll to the outer edge of your left foot, inner edge of your right foot for this version of Vashisthasana. Flex both of your feet and really think about your top arm going up as your bottom hand presses down. And then reach your right arm over your ear. I think we did that. Yep. And then if you want, you can step your right leg on top of the left one. Zach, roll your right hip forward a little bit. Breathe in. Perfect. Don't slam your hand down, plank pose. Breathe in, yogi's choice. You can take a vinyasa, you can skip it, you can take a rest. Make your way to downward facing dog and we'll pause there. And if you need to put your knees down and rest in Balasana and child's pose, you can also stay there. But just come back to that feeling of breathing, just not even necessarily changing it now, but like noticing what is it like right now, and just being kind of like awake to that. Breathe in, exhale completely. Take one more breath in, exhale, bend your knees, look at your hands, travel to the front of your mat. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana, big breath in. Exhale, fold over Uttanasana. Let's separate your feet hips width apart again. No block this time. And go back into chair pose and pause. So from here, think about the backs of your arms moving back in space. Pick your right foot up an inch or two, pause. So feel your left foot press down. Stand up, bring your right heel behind you. Backstroke with your right arm, catch the inside of your right foot. You can also use a strap here. Draw your tailbone in. And then inhale, lift your right leg up and back as your chest presses forwards for Natarajasana, dancer pose. Good. Think about your rib cage, like lifting up away from your hips and your spine kind of pressing in. Yeah, and you can always hold on to the wall or a chair. And go back into chair pose right from here. Good. So pick your left foot up an inch or two. And again, this is just so you feel what's happening under your right foot. Stand up, bring your left heel behind you. Backstroke with your left arm, catch the inside of your foot. Draw your tailbone in, good. And then inhale, think about the things happening at the same time. Thigh goes back, chest goes forwards as it goes up, nice. Really just look at whatever you're looking at. Zach, bring your arm up by your ear, Tiara, you too, a little. There you go, good. Okay, chair pose, like nothing happened. It's good. Yeah, the wiggle. I had a teacher once that was like, the wiggly stuff is part of it. Bring your hands into prayer position in front of your chest. So keep your stance the way that it is. Twist to the right. You're going to put your left fingers in between your feet. Reach your right arm up to the ceiling. And then you can stay like this, okay? Or you can start to take a half bind. So your right arm's going to backstroke. Then when you can't, twist to the left.
Oh, there you are.
Can you guys hear me? I was still talking.
You were frozen for a while.
Oh, just kidding. Okay, so go back into, or go to the top of your mat. I was still saying things like everything was well. Okay, from here, and have your arms forward and up. And sit back and down into chair pose. Utkatasana. Good. Bring your hands into prayer position in front of you. So holding your hips steady, twist your rib cage and chest to the left. Sit backwards, lean forward. Right fingers are going to go in between your feet, left or to a block, left arm up to the ceiling. Nice, Connie. Yeah, good. So for the half bind, think about your arm, you know, how it moves in the shoulder socket. So you start to backstroke, thumbs down. And then the whole outer part of your arm kind of swims by your side, and then you can bend your elbow. Yeah. And then I think focus on your chest going forward and just notice, you know, what happens. Breathing. Okay, are you breathing? Free, you're counting down till how much longer. Free your left arm to the ceiling, breathe in. Okay, fold over your legs, Uttanasana. All right, from here, inhale to Ardha Uttanasana, so long spine. Jump or step back into downward facing dog. Land with bent knees if you jump. Inhale to plank pose, then yogi's choice. You can take a vinyasa, chaturanga, knees, chest, chin. You can skip it. Make your way to downward facing dog. When you get there, take a breath in. Take a breath out. Lift your right leg straight up and back. Think about your thigh lifting. Good. Exhale, step forwards. Pause. Heel toe your right foot slightly to the left. Spin your back heel down. You're going to come right up into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Okay. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Reach your arms to the ceiling. And then exhale into reverse warrior two. So side bend and bend your right knee. Big breath in. Exhale, start to lean your torso towards your right leg. You can look down. We're going to go into Ardha Chandrasana. So shift into your right leg, right fingers under your shoulder, left arm, left leg up. And you can have your hand on your block or hand on your hip. Yeah, and everybody really flex your left foot like your heel is going back. That's right. And then if you feel like it, you can do the half bind here. You can start to backstroke, thumbs down. Think about your arm kind of swimming by your side. Nice. And then can you do a little less with your right fingers? That's right, Tiara. And maybe you can roll your left side ribs back in space. Free your left arm to the ceiling. Breathe in. Flex your back foot. Good. Okay, so slowly bend your right knee. Step way back into Virabhadrasana 2. Perfect. Straighten your right leg. Bring your hands to your hips and parallel your feet to each other. So turn your right toes in. Take a breath in and breath out. Draw your outer ankles, outer hips, outer thighs in. Breathe in again. Lift your chest up. Exhale, fold all the way over. So from here, you can always have hands on blocks. You can bend your knees slightly. Otherwise, just hands down in between your feet for Prasarita Padottanasana. Take another breath in. Then exhale as you fold. Think about the sides of your waist, like making space in between each rib as you, the crown of your head goes towards the floor. Draw the tops of your shoulders up. Jen, turn your right toes in a tiny, tiny bit. Yeah. Yeah, and everybody think about the outer ankles kind of drawing in to stabilize, the outer part of the foot. Take another in and out breath. Like I said, if it feels stressful, you can bend your knees. Think about the weight staying forward slightly, towards the balls of your feet. Take one more in and out breath. Okay, without standing all the way up, you're just going to walk your fingers out in front of you and inhale, lengthen your spine. And then you're going to pivot to the right. So you're kind of going back to where you came from. Pivot to the right, so you're in a lunge. Let's step into downward facing dog from here. Okay. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Take one more breath in. Breathe out. Lift your left leg straight up and back. Keep drawing your upper arms in. Exhale, step forwards. Take your time and make your way into Virabhadrasana 2. So heel toe your left foot over. Good. Inhale, straighten your front leg, reach your arms to the ceiling. Lift your left hip bone up, everybody. Exhale, reverse warrior 2. So side bend, bend your left knee. Yeah, and you're just trying to hold your inner and outer knees steady. Breathe in again. Exhale, start to lean forwards. You can look down. Shift into your left leg, Ardha Chandrasana. Left fingers under your shoulder. Yep. Just think about the inner right thigh lifting, and hand can be on your block. Good. And then again, think about your spine being in, right? So that the chest is broad, and you can either stay here or start to backstroke again with your right arm, half bind. Think about the outer part of your arm. That's right, Zach. Yeah. Yeah, Jamie, I was going to say, I think you can move your right thigh back like a hair. And then everybody, maybe just see, you can roll your right side ribs back behind you. Yeah, and Carrie, try to widen across your chest like a tiny, tiny bit. There you go. Inhale, free your right arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, pause. Okay, big breath in. Bend your standing leg, reach way back with your right foot. Lift up into Virabhadrasana 2. Good. Breathe in. Make sure your right arm's as high as your left arm. Exhale, circle your hands down to the ground. Pause in a lunge. Okay, this time step your right foot forwards and fold over your legs into Uttanasana. Oh, I forgot something. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Stay here. Jump or step into downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up and back. This is just bringing us to the thing I forgot. Step forwards and then straighten your front leg and then pivot to the right so that your feet are parallel to each other and you're in a wide-legged forward fold. Yeah. So you can either repeat the same hand situation as before, or you can catch your big toes with your peace fingers, thumb over top. And when you fold over, because everyone's already doing it, just be mindful that that your wrist isn't bending, so that your elbow and wrist are in the same line. Yeah, and draw the tops of your shoulders. Think about that kind of melting up into your back. Breathe. Just see if you can keep the weight again forward slightly, but that's as you're drawing the musculature of the thighs up in space. And think about the outer hips drawing in slightly. Breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. Take one more. Okay, so let go of your big toes. Walk your hands out in front of you slightly. Breathe in. Lengthen your spine. And okay, now you're going to pivot to the left. Okay, and from here, let's step your right foot forwards and fold over into Uttanasana at the front of your mat. Inhale, Utkatasana again, and let's pause. Feet can be together or apart. I go with hips width apart personally. Just make sure if your feet are apart, that your knees are apart. So chair pose, pause here. Bring your hands into prayer position. This time, twist to the right. You can hook your left elbow to the outside. Again, you can kind of use your elbow for a second. Think about cobra in your upper back. And then if you want to open your arms again, you can feel free. But pin your left hip in, barb a tiny bit. There you go. Good. Breathe in. Nice, everybody. Exhale, fold over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. So widen across your chest, big inhale. Exhale, fold over Uttanasana. Inhale, back to Utkatasana. Ut means full of effort. That's you. Bring your hands back in front of your chest. So again, tuck your shoulder blades into your back. Breathe in. Twist to the left. Sit backwards, lean forwards. Elbow can go down. Good. And again, think about your spine going forward. You can open your arms if you did on the first side. How's it going? Everybody all right? Take one more. Some of you are making faces. Take one more breath in. Okay, fold over. Uttanasana, fold over. All right. From here, step your left leg backwards so you're in a lunge with your right foot forward. And I like to have hands on blocks. For this, not required, but I just find it can be helpful. So if you want them, keep them there. Okay. And then dynamically a couple times, inhale, straighten your right leg, press your right big toe down. Exhale, just rebend your right knee, reach your chest forward. We'll do this a couple times. Inhale, straighten again, firm your right hip in. Exhale, bend your knee. And then one more, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Okay, keep your knee bent. Bring your hands to your hips, but just lift your torso 2 inches above your right thigh. Point your elbows slightly towards each other. Press your left thigh to the ceiling. And then from there, reach your arms by your sides. You can have palms facing in or down, your choice. Start to slowly shift forward. Lift your left leg up for Virabhadrasana 3. You can also move your blocks under your hands or hold on to a chair. Tsunami, lift your shoulders a tiny bit. There you go. Good, good, good. This looks nice, everybody. So just observe how it's going. Tira, flex your back foot. Good. Okay. So go back into your lunge with your hands on the floor exactly how you got here. Good. Good. Okay. So from here, straighten your right leg. So I'm going to give you an option. You can either fold over like this, or if it feels unstable, step your back foot in slightly. Okay, so then from there, breathe in, reach your chest forward. I like to walk my hands kind of forward a tiny bit, pull your right hip in slightly, and then you can fold over into this version of Parsvottanasana. If it's super stressful, I use that word because like that can mean like it feels too intense or too strenuous or like you're straining. I would bend your right knee a little and or step your left foot in slightly. Yeah. And you don't have to really, fold over a lot either, I don't think. You can kind of think about just making some space in the torso. And take a couple breaths here. And, how can you find like a like a cobra-like action in the upper back without lifting all the way up. Yeah, that's right, Jen. Good. And just taking another breath in and breath out. Try not to white knuckle and take one more in and out breath. Okay, and then just put a little bend in your right knee and we'll just switch sides. So step your left foot forward. Inhale to a long spine, breathe in. You can keep your hands on your blocks. Yep, and just step, go ahead, step your right leg back. Just be sure that you have some space, that your legs are hips width apart. Yeah, okay, so the dynamic bend and straighten. Inhale, straighten your front leg, and you can just keep your spine going forwards as you do that. Exhale, rebend your front knee. Inhale, straighten again. Think about lifting the thighs up in space. Exhale, bend. Good. One more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend and pause. So just be sure you're on the ball of your back foot. Kind of lighten your touch on your fingers. Bring your hands to your hips. Draw your elbows towards each other. Reach out through your right heel. Okay, breathe. And really feel what your back leg is doing now, right? This is how it's straight. Reach your arms by your sides. And without a big deal, just shift forward and think about your right thigh lifting. That's right, Connie. Nice. Yeah. And I would say flex your foot because it kind of sometimes helps like keep everything active, but think about your back thigh lifting. Carrie, you can make your chest a little lower, I think. Yeah. There you go. Tiara, draw your arms in. Okay, and like I said, the wiggly parts included. So as if you're totally unfazed by this whole thing, start to bend your left knee, step your right leg back, put your hands on your blocks or on the floor. You made it, okay? So breathe in and straighten your front leg. And then again, you can step your back foot in a tiny bit if you prefer. I would keep like a wide stance, like legs hips width apart, maybe a little wider. Yeah, Jen, I think that's good. And then you can reach your spine forward on the in-breath, and then maybe you fold, meaning your hip bones go over your thigh bones. Yeah. And like I said, I like to have my arms kind of forward because it just, I don't know, it's like a personal preference, but sometimes I feel like to me, it's just reminding me of how to keep some space in my side body. But like I said, if it feels stressful, little bend in the front knee, don't have to fold over as much. Keep breathing. Take one more breath in. Breathe out. Good. And then rebend your left knee and just step your right foot forwards. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana. From here, jump or step into downward facing dog. Inhale to plank pose. We're going to lower for a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the way down is good. From here, so let's interlace your fingers behind your back one more time. So like I said before, if you interlace, I would start with bent elbows, glue your palms together, and then draw your arms in or use a strap or towel or something in between your hands. Lift your shoulders slightly, draw your upper arms in as you reach your arms back, and on an in-breath, lift your head and chest up. Your arms can lift, but they don't have to lift that high. You can lift your legs up an inch or two, spread your toes. Zach, really think about your shin bone and your calf muscle like pressing in towards each other. Yeah, there you go. For Shalabhasana, breathe in. Exhale, lower down to the floor. You can let go of your arms. You can turn your head wherever feels best. You can make a pillow with your hands if that feels better. Just like you have many nostrils on your back. Breathing into your low back, middle back, upper back, sides of the waist. Okay, so we're gonna do one other belly down thing here. So if you want to keep resting, that's totally cool too. Okay, so we'll do Dhanurasana, bow pulling pose, where you'll bend your knees, reach back, catch your outer ankles with your hands. If that is not, feels like too much or you don't feel like doing it, but want to do something, you can repeat any other belly down straight leg pose. I think is just as good. Okay. or you can also use a strap. All right. So if you're catching your feet, just be sure your outer thighs are drawing in slightly. Breathe out, burrow your tailbone in towards your pubic bone. And then on your inhale, lift everything up. And I like to think about my shins kind of going back and up as my rib cage goes forward and up. Good. Take one more breath in here in Dhanurasana. Bow pulling pose. Exhale, lower down to the floor. Let go of your feet. You can give your hips a little wiggle if it feels good. Otherwise, just being still, taking a couple breaths. Okay, take a breath in, come to stillness. Breathe out. Take one more breath in and breathe out. Okay. So from here, before you press yourself up, I'm just going to tell you, if you have a wall space that like you don't have to take down some things, we're going to get ready to go there in a moment. So if you don't, you can just press yourself up to your hands and knees and sit on your heels. Otherwise, you can press yourself up to either downward facing dog or hands and knees and stand up. But you can walk your hands back to your feet. Take your time. Slowly stand up. And then we'll do a few things at the wall with props. I'll still give some options if there's people that aren't going to go to the wall. So if you have a wall space, you only need enough for like your mat. You can bring the short edge of your mat over to the wall. And then when I see that everyone's moved, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Everybody okay? Okay, so we'll do a couple things here. The first thing, what you're gonna do is measure one leg's length away from the wall. So I'm showing you with a blanket down just because my props are like all the same color. You do not need that blanket, but what you're gonna do is sit against the wall for a moment, extend your legs out. So make sure you're sitting all the way there. And then basically where your like outer ankle is, you can just put your blocks, just for your memory, okay? And then from there, where your blocks were basically like the middle part, you're gonna put your hands so that the crease of your wrist is lined up with the middle there. And then from there, draw your arms in, hands and arms are shoulder width apart. You're gonna lift your hips up and then put your feet on the wall at hip height, okay? And you don't have to put your feet all the way up there if that's scary, and your knees might be bent. That's also fine, okay? I would just say hands turned out slightly. All right. Yeah, and like I said, my blanket was there just because my mat and props are all dark blue. Okay, so once you're there, no hurry, press the floor with your hands. Think about your sitting bones having feet on them and that those are going up. And then if you feel confident in your mental and physical being, lift your right leg to the ceiling, and you can always come back and try again. And then bring your foot to the wall, try the other leg. You can grip with your fingers. Think about the middle parts of your upper arms drawing a nice barb. Breathe in. Jamie, lift your hips up, 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 up. There you go. Okay, bring your foot down, bring your feet down, and don't sit up too quickly, either child's pose or you can just sit on your heels and take a couple breaths. Okay, take a breath in. Breathe out. So open your eyes. So I'll leave that there as an option that you can come back to. Okay, so that's one thing, or similarly but different. What you can also do is work on dolphin / Pinchamayurasana. Actually, I'm just going to keep that. So I would recommend, you can choose. I like to hold a block in between my hands this way, but you can also do it the traditional way. I just would make sure if you're holding it this way that your pointer, finger, and thumb are like like little pinchers, okay, so that your fingers aren't totally like this. And then you can take a strap and make it shoulder width apart and just belt it right above the elbow crease. And then you can either just be in dolphin, okay, you can totally do that in the center of the room, or if you want to work on kicking up into Pincha Mayurasana, I would just make sure you're back like a couple inches, wrap your arms in, curl your toes under, lift your hips up, shift your shoulder over the elbow. You can stay here, bend your knees, walk your feet in slightly. And then when you lift one leg up, think about the bottom thigh coming to meet the other one so that you can even bring your feet to the wall, roll your thighs together, lift your heels, and then bring both legs away at the same time, okay? Or you can repeat the L shape. Obviously, you can go slower than that. So let's see what happens. If you're working on the dolphin, remember, root your arms down. Nice, Connie. Wrap the triceps in. And you can also do the pose in your mind. Yeah, nice. Nami. And if you can make it up and touch the wall, you can try again and try to catch it in space. Yeah, Jamie, reach out to the balls of your feet like a lot. Yeah, and squeeze your thighs together. Now try. Yeah. Good. Okay. Take one more whirl if you want. And that nice tiara. And then when you're over it, make your way down and you can be in child's pose or sit, but just be still for a moment. You can close your eyes. Just take a breath in and breath out. Breathe in. Just, you can observe what happened, but letting go at the same time. Take one more in and out breath. Okay. From here, if you're not sitting up, you can slowly sit up and open your eyes. So I'm going to show you 2 setups for something, and then we'll do it a couple times and you can choose on your own, like if you want to do both of them or a combination or none. So I'll give you an opportunity we'll do, bridge pose into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Obviously, I say it that way so that you don't have to go all the way up each time. But the 2 options I'm going to show you are the first one. I feel like everyone has probably done this before, obviously, but just as a refresher, you can have your blocks. You can do this without the wall. I just found that the wall is supportive a little bit more. With your blocks on like a diagonal, so tallest height, but diagonally, okay? And your hands would go there like this. And that can help you lift up. It can also help with tight shoulders, but the other one is for your feet. The blocks go on the lowest setting. And when you lay down, your feet go here. If your feet are bigger than the blocks, just make sure you move your heel up on the blocks so that your toes kind of drape up the wall, okay? Feet on blocks can help with like a tighter low back, but I also find that it can bring some more space and like lift out of the low back compression that sometimes likes to happen. I don't personally have a preference. I think they're both good to try if you've never done them before. I say that as someone who just like could do the pose for a long time without props. So we'll do it more than once. So if you want to try one way first, I don't think there's any like particular preference, but you can pick and then I'll give you time to change your props so that you can do it a second way. Okay. And then maybe if anyone has energy, you'll do a third way and then that will be that. But I'll bring you through bridge pose so you can always have an opportunity to stay there as well. Okay. So lay down to your back, make your feet hips width apart and just take a breath in and take a breath out. And then on your inhale, just make your way into bridge pose. So lift your hips up, pelvis up, chest up, and you can hold on to the sides of your mat. I see Jen's already doing that. That's like what I personally like to do to kind of help tuck the upper arms under and press the, backs of the shoulders, taps the shoulders down. So you can totally stay here. Yeah. And then if you're going into Urdhva Dhanurasana, keep hugging your thighs in. You can reach your arms up and then bend your elbows so that your palms are either on your blocks or hands on the floor, fingers pointing toward your toes. Hug your arms in, press down, and then you can press up. And maybe your elbows straighten, maybe they, maybe they don't. Yeah, nice, Barb. Nice, Jamie. Everybody keep drawing your inner thighs in. I think, Carrie, press your chest towards the wall a little if that feels okay. I don't know if it doesn't, don't do that. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Take one more inhale. Okay, tuck your chin into your chest. Slowly come down. And if you need to do anything, I would just put your feet apart, knees into touch for a second. Just take a breath in and breath out. So if you want, no, I'm not in a hurry, but I'm just telling you, if you want to try the different prop situation, you totally can. If you're over it, you can always go into supported bridge pose too. Okay, and like I said, doing the pose in your mind also counts. All right. So I think everyone knows what they're doing. Make your way there again if you're going all the way up. But like I said, you can methodically go into Setu Bandha Sharvangasana first. Excuse me. So that you're kind of, feeling each piece. Yeah, nice, Barb. And in a way, see if you can subtly feel your belly button lift, but your pubic bone drops down. Tiara, no, never mind. I was going to say, bring your feet a little closer together. Yeah. Zach, you bring your thighs a little closer, just your thighs. There you go. Take one more in breath and then make your way down. Nice, Jen. And same thing, just be still for a moment, couple breaths. And then I'll give you an opportunity. If you'd like a third one, you can make your way there with or without props. If you're totally over it, you can be still. But if you feel like you have it in you, give it one more whirl. And like I said, bridge pose is also workable. Just see if you can come back to the idea of like what's pressing down, what's lifting up. Take one more breath in. And on your next exhale, you can tuck your chin to your chest and make your way down. Everybody, let's make a diamond shape with your legs. You can tuck your blocks to the outside of your knees or thighs if they're close by. Just let your back settle for a moment. You might have to scoop your fleshy parts under a tiny bit, but just take a breath in. Take a breath out. And then reach your arms to the ceiling. And then you're going to hug your favorite subject, that's yourself. So wrap your arms all the way around. So maybe you touch kind of like the outer shoulder blades and draw those away from each other so there's space in your upper back, and then just let your arms hang on your body. Take a couple breaths. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Make a mental note of which arm you have on the top. Unwind, and then switch with the other arm on top. Same thing, make some space and let your arms hang. Just breathing in and breathing out. Take one more breath in. Breathe out. Unwind your arms and just be still for another moment, just observing what you feel now. And then gently, you bring your hands to the outside of your thighs, bring your knees together. You can gently move your blocks to the side. So from here, let's just roll over to one side and sit up. So if you want to move your mat, you can. I don't really think that matters so much, but let's come onto your hands and knees from here. Maybe keep one of your blocks nearby. And then we're gonna go into Gomukhasana legs. So from your hands and knees, right leg is gonna swing over top of the left one. And this is just where you can kind of snuggle your knees together and separate your feet away from each other. And then you're going to sit down in between your feet. So like if you're like me, that's like not really a thing. So I have to sit on a block. Mine's on the middle height. You might need two. That's totally fine. If that, I can't quite tell you, but if that's really too stressful for anyone, I know it's not the same, but you can always do thread the needle instead, okay? So just find an upright seat if you're in cow face pose and just look straight. You can have your hands just down for a second. Take a breath in, breathe out and lift your sternum. From here, reach your fingers towards the floor, even if they don't touch. So your left arm, wherever your left arm is, reach your left arm out and up, breathe in, and then side bend to the right. Good. Take a breath in, breathe out. So your same left arm, the top one, you're gonna bring your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. You can make a fist, twist to the right. If that feels, put your right hand over top, sorry, twist to the right. If that's stressful, you can be more upright. Yeah. See if you can gather your inner shoulder blades slightly towards each other, everybody. Take one more breath in. Breathe out. Then inhale back to the center, untwist, take a breath in, and just reach your fingers down. And then let's fold over just for a couple moments. And, you can think about your hip bones going over your thigh bones and your hands are just, there. Tara, is that okay? Okay. Yeah, and just make sure, if it's, your foot's doing something weird, you can always tuck like a little towel or blanket under it. Just try to relax your hands, and then you can think about your spine going forward as you fold over. Breathe in together. Exhale, breathe out. Take one more breath in. Breathe out and take your time. Slowly inhale, sit up and just pause and look straight ahead for a moment. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Okay. So we're just going to switch to the other side. So I recommend just coming onto your hands and knees. That's the way I do it. Uncross, recross. And like I said, you just have to kind of snuggle your knees towards each other and then separate your feet. And if you can't sit on the floor, sit on something. Like I said, you might need two. That's totally fine. And then just sit up tall for a moment and look straight ahead like you're interested in what you're doing. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Just like settling in for a moment. Reach your fingers towards the floor. Then reach your right arm up to the ceiling. Breathe in. Side bend to the left, wherever your left is. Make your top arm straight. Think about your tricep. There you go, Carrie. Nice. Drawing in. Okay. And then your top leg, the top arm, you're going to bend it so your elbow maybe touches the outside. You can make a fist. Put your left palm over top. That was like too stressful for me on the other side. So you can always have your right hand to your thigh, left fingers behind you. Twist to the left, but think about in a way like lifting your rib cage away from the floor. Breathe. And like, where can you do less? Just saying. Might be in your jaw. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take one more. Good, and slowly inhale, untwist, and just reach your fingers by your sides. Take a breath in, and then you can fold forward, which again might be like a millimeter. And you can think about your hip bones going over your thigh bones, and also maybe you don't fold over, and that's fine too. Where can you be with, the steadiness and the effort and the ease, like all wrapped up into one? And you can remember your motivation even now, even though it might feel different. It's like always there, even though it sometimes changes without trying to make it something different. Just breathing in and breathing out. Take one more breath in. Breathe out completely, and slowly on your inhale, you can sit up. And from here, you can just unwind your legs, give them a little shake. You can remove whatever you're sitting on, and you can make your way down to your back. We're not going to Shavasana like right this second, but in the next like 2 or 3 minutes. So if you want another layer or something that's like nearby, you can feel free to get it, just so you don't have to sit back up, but just telling you. And then once you lay down to your back, bend your knees, put your feet on the floor at the edges of your mat, knees in to touch each other, and just windshield wiper your knees right and left a couple times. You can put your arms wherever feels best for you. And then when you feel like you've done the right and left side mostly evenly, come to stillness and just pause for a moment, take a breath in, breathe out. And then you can draw your knees into your chest. You can give a squeeze or a happy baby or a combination of that, of like rocking or knee circle. If there's some last finishing shape that you feel like you have to do, you can take another few moments to do that. But if you feel like you're already ready for Shavasana, you can make your way there, but take your time. And then feel free, once you lower down to your back for Shavasana, to use props. I personally like to have something under the backs of my knees, and then I like to have like a bolster or blanket folded over the top of my pelvis. But again, personal choice. Just make sure you're not freezing cold. And then when you get there, you're just, relaxing with things as they are, letting go, but not giving up. And we'll be here for a few minutes. Begin to deepen your breathing. And slowly move your fingers, toes, wrists, and ankles. Gently roll to one side and just pause there for a moment. Use your top hand to slowly press yourself up to sitting, no rush. Feel free to sit on something. You can bring your hands into prayer position in front of your chest if you choose. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be parted from freedom's true joy. May all beings dwell in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Let's bow together to complete our practice. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. I know most of you. So glad to see you. For those of you that I don't know, like I said, I'm Camille Moses Allen. This will be my new class, so I hope you can join sometime. Oh, here, let me make this stop.